Welcome back, everyone. I'm continuing with the LEGO AT-AT set build. Today we're starting box number 4. So there are 5 numbered bags of parts left to go. Today I'm starting with bag number 14, which is the beginning of the head. I think bags 14 and 15 construct the head, and then 16, 17, and 18 are the rest of the body. Let's get started. So in bag 14, there are 3 minifigures. I love the helmets on these things. Good detail. Even the printed image on the front and back of the minifigs looks pretty good. But the helmets definitely steal the show. Time to build the AT-AT head. Big frame. Turn this around. We'll slip over all of these Technic pins. So these 2 Technic elements can rotate around these pins in the middle. Well, there's our start. Doesn't look like much yet. Time for a sub-assembly. Attach these 2 together and attach onto this main frame. Starting to get the shape. A couple of these weird Technic pins that don't have any friction elements on them. Why put this pin in here, which will attach between this part, and this part? And again, it's one of these elements that is flush with the outside and there's no way to actually grip it. So getting this out is going to be difficult. Yeah, because since it attaches to this middle frame, I can't even pull this off and then pull this off this way. Ugh, why do they do that? An interesting assembly here, stacking Technic beams with some pins, and then on the other side, side-facing studs. Again, a good variety of color that they're using in the build. And then the stacking plate element with a hole in it, which goes through 4 of the same elements. So there must be like a connecting pin that's going to go through all of this. So these side-facing studs will allow this assembly to attach. A couple printed bricks. Just a computer panel or like a switching panel. Another printed brick with a computer display. A couple of captain's chair style seats. Starting to look pretty good. Got some detail going on the inside here. A couple seats. There's a control panel up here, like a drive station. I like this back panel with a window with the spokes in it. And then, of course, we have all our connectivity going on back here. So next up is a rather large subassembly. Well, now this is not clear. Does it go in the middle or does it go toward the end? I think it goes like that. Sticker time. It's a long sticker. So this sticker is the view screen showing the planet of Hoth with the shield generator in the background. Gets installed this way. And another couple printed bricks, the same computer display. This looks like it's the view screen with the drive controls. Got some hinges here, some translucent red brick elements. This pops into the other set of hinges. Which way? Red on the inside. That looks pretty good. Be great if that red was lit up. I'm assuming I put this flush with there. I'm going to rotate these up, attach it like this. Is that supposed to go in between? It is, okay. I'm assuming there's going to be a pin connecting all of that together. Yes, indeed, very next step. The pin goes through here to connect those two together. That's another pin that's going to be a little bit difficult to get out. It's not completely flush, but there's still no way to grip it. So this assembly's finished. Bring back this assembly. This just gets connected into this Technic beam up here. It's a little tricky because these can rotate, so keeping them steady while I'm trying to push the pin in is going to be difficult. Let's try this way. Got that one in. There we go. Well, that's a cool way of constructing it so you can lift this up and easily get into the interior. Nothing holds it down, it just sits down by gravity. That looks pretty neat. Another assembly, which I believe is the cover plate to go on the top here. There's the top plate. Just attach onto these side-facing studs. I'm starting to think I've got this in the wrong position now, because this should sit on top, but I think it's supposed to cover, see there's a gap there? I think it's supposed to sit like that, but it can't because this is too far up. Yes, indeed, I have this one up too high. You know, it wasn't clear in the instructions how this got attached. If it was supposed to be flush with the outside, but it's not. It's supposed to be offset by one stud. So now I got to take out that really difficult to remove pin. Luckily, I can access it from this side. I just need something really small and round to pop through there. I'll grab something from my parts bin here. Oh yeah, okay. Can easily pop that pin out. Wasn't as bad as I feared. Being all dramatic for nothing. Okay, so I can pop this off. So instead of being flush, it should have been one stud down like that. Oh no, sorry. It should have been one stud up. Should be attaching there between those two elements, the black and the dark stone gray. Now when it rotates up, it is one stud down. I can put the pin back through. All right. Now when this goes on, now is that too far forward? I can't tell. It definitely overlaps, although I look like I'm offset. So that's not correct. That looks better. It's centered. I think that's right. Another panel for back here. It's 4 hooks. Go into this hinge element here. Flip this over. This small assembly sits right there. This will be a little hard to press in. There we go. And some last few details. Whew, that's the end of bag number 14. Man, there's a lot of construction techniques that went into this assembly. So we have a bunch of connection points at the back. Obviously this will be connecting into the neck. Rotating upper panel. This entire upper section can rotate so you can access the inside where you can put your minifigs in here. This construction was complicated enough that I made a few mistakes. Really interesting though. But next up is bag 15, which will put the side panels on here. I think in bag 15 there's going to be some repeatable assemblies, so this should go fairly quickly. Start with one of the laser cannons. Very long pin. Goes through here. There's one cannon assembly. this back over. Okay, so remember right at the beginning of bag 14, these movable Technic beams? Well, there's a couple like pin elements here. They're going to go in there. Right, so once I get the other laser cannon on there, they'll be able to move like that. That's awesome. That's the only thing holding that on, is that right into those blue Technic pins in there. Second assembly, same as the first. That's awesome. There's a side panel assembly. Lots of connection points buried in here. And it's going to sit right here. This panel, I think, goes right here. Now those two assemblies are duplicated on this side. Now the next step in the instructions is to attach this to the neck, but I'm going to do the other side panel assemblies first before I do that. Nice big yellow turntable assembly. It's probably for the turrets on the side of the head. So that can turn. Position of this is pretty important. I think it goes in the middle of those studs. Should be like that. Just making sure this can still turn. That's a little interesting the way they've done all these parts here slightly askew to make it look like there's a bit of curvature. Now for the actual turret. Quite a fancy looking turret. Lots of stuff going on there. The whole thing attaches through here. So I can rotate. That looks really cool. There's two hinge elements down here. There's multiple connection points here. We've got another hinge and some pins. This connecting to those hooks. That finishes off that transition, and this can rotate. Well, this side panel's done. I'm not going to install it onto the head assembly yet, just because I think I need to leave that open so I can connect it to the neck. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other assembly for the other side, and then we'll connect everything to the neck. Okay, the two assemblies are done. They're not quite identical. They're mostly identical. There's a little bit of change in detail on the ends here. Otherwise, they're just a mirror image of each other. Now I'm going to reset my camera and we'll attach all of this to the neck. Well, here's the main assembly. This thing's huge. I have to stand up to build it. Here's our neck. First thing to do is to get this assembly attached to the neck. So inside here we have 4 brown plate elements with a hole in it. That should go over top of this frame here. And I have a long pin to go through everything. So I'm going to raise this up, bring that in. Oh, there's also 4 Technic pins. So it's going to be held in a couple ways. Technic pins and then a pin through the middle. The Technic pins are going to be difficult. I can see why the side panels were left off, because I'm really going to have to get in here and push. Oh, this could be tricky. Oh, that went easier than I thought. Okay, Technic pins are in. Now for the vertical pin. Should be good. Bring that down. It's now attached. Boy, that's awesome. Okay, side panel time. I'm going to attach the one on this side first. You can't see it, but then I'll do the one over there. So these Technic pins will go into some Technic holes down into assembly down below. Honestly, that's the only thing holding that on. They just connect with these two Technic pins here, and that's it. It's supposed to rotate in a little bit, but it doesn't stay there very well. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. That one's sitting okay. This one is off. So why is that one sitting and this one not? It keeps falling off. Do I have that in the wrong spot? Well, then I got to connect this to this hook here. It's a little awkward. I think that's right. The head seems a little wobbly to me. It's all connected now. I'll show the front on view here if I can. It's a little out of camera. See, it doesn't quite sit properly there. It sits okay. I feel like it should be a little tighter in though. That's the end of bag 15. So the head is now done. Bags 16, 17, and 18 are going to be the coverings for the rest of the body, but I'll do that in the next video. And then we'll finish this thing. It's definitely a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Didn't expect to have to stand up to finish the construction. This head construction is actually really good. Not only can it pivot side to side, it can actually also rotate a little bit. And the guns can rotate, and then the guns down below can move in and out. Pretty awesome. But that's it for this week. Let me know what you think of the build so far in the comments. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.